There's
I think I've cracked
basically no hope in beef.
There's not a lot of hope in beef.
Your relationship right now that you're in, it's going to die. That's what beef is telling you. I had to check in on myself. I'm like, I'm about to get married. If you don't know already, I am like, am I good? I'm good. I'm like, I texted my fiance.
Yeah, we watched the drama and beef.
Oh, God, guys. But I texted my fiance and I was like, thank you for being sane. Beef Season 2 is out.
It's out.
It is the world's.
It's true.
And we've watched it.
We have all 8 episodes.
And I want to ask you a question.
Okay, hit me.
What would you say Beef is about?
Like as a show, not individual seasons?
No, go individual season.
Okay.
No, wait. Go as a show. Start as a show, then maybe individual
Right. I'm going to say as a show, it is about the boiling tension of a relationship or relationships and how it explodes in a very surreal way.
Okay.
And it's like a dark comedy type of way.
Okay, honestly that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Because I would think the first season is very you have Ali Wong and then you have
Steven Yeun?
Yeah, why am I blanking on his name?
I don't know, dude.
I love him as an actor.
He's in everything right now.
And then Steven Yeun. Mm-hmm. And now it's you have the couple versus the couple. And also kind of them versus each other.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
So this is much more dynamic.
Yes. What would you say, just Season 2, because we're talking about Season 2, Dave.
Right.
What would you say Season 2 is about?
I would say it's about a two-couple feud.
Yeah. That's it?
Well,
that's all.
There's a whole lot more.
There's a lot more. That's kind of the baseline.
Yeah.
It's a foundation.
Yeah.
It's a starting block. Yeah. I think I would say it's kind of a combination of your overall thing and then also the two couple feud of it's about relational dynamics, specifically between actual relationships, not just acquaintances or friendships.
Romantic relationships.
This is between romantic relationships, and how time wears on them, how stresses wear on them, how money wears on them, how each other's quirks wear on them, how their own temptations wear on them.
Yep.
Just basically everything that wears down a relationship and what can happen. And that is still not even... I mean, it kind of feels like it's not even scratching the surface of what
this season is very... I don't know if complex is the right word.
I would say... I don't want to say overstuffed because that makes it sound... That has a negative connotation.
It's like if overstuffed and complex had a baby.
Overplexed.
Overplexed.
It's overplexed. No, I would say that it's intricate. Maybe intricate.
Okay,
that's probably the word we're looking for.
Yes, I think intricate's a good word.
And very thought through. A lot of character moments in this season.
True.
I have a confession to make.
Okay.
We've gone this past 3 minutes. I've not seen season 1 of Beef.
It's true, he hasn't. But I don't think you have to. I think that's fine.
No, you don't. And here's the thing.
Right.
I meant to watch Beef. Drew, you recommended Beef to me. And I said...
way back when, yeah.
Yes, I will watch Beef. And then I didn't. And that's my fault.
Yeah.
I own that. We're about ownership here on Stole My Line.
It's true, we are. We'll be honest with you.
We will
sure.
be. This is an anthology series, so I am coming into this in season 2.
Right.
You're not.
No, I'm not.
What'd you think of season 1 very briefly?
Loved it. I would say it's a very... If you're into the dark comedy type of vein, then Beef is one of the best shows out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If this is your vibe.
Yeah. This is a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yeah. So it's a weird but kind of cool thing that we get to talk about a show when I haven't seen a season of it.
I know, this is interesting.
I have no context going into season 2. This is my first experience with Beef.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably maybe a little more common. It's probably not super common, but because it's an anthology series, some people surely have watched season 2 before 1.
Yeah.
I will go back and watch season 1. That is my commitment to whatever we call our listeners on Stole My Line.
Yeah, we don't have a name. The
name will find itself.
I think season 1 is better than season 2.
And I've kind of heard that sentiment, but I've heard that season 2 is really good.
Season 2 is good.
And the general sentiment, I thought season 2 was very good.
Yes.
That's my confession. That's all she wrote on that.
That's fair.
Welcome back to Stole My Line, a Fireside film and probably TV at this point podcast. I'm Grant.
We're not going to throw it in the name because it doesn't really roll off the tongue.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
But it's implied.
We talk a lot about TV too. I'm Grant.
I'm Drew.
Talking about Beef season 2, obviously. what were your expectations coming into season 2, Drew?
My expectations were a dark comedy about relationships exploding, and my expectations were met.
That's fair.
So, like, I think they weren't met in the way that I thought they were, because this ending is very different than the first season's ending. And I don't want to say we go off the rails, but we
feels like you go
off a very different track at the end that I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a ton of expectations coming into season 2.
Right.
I knew that obviously season 1 was acclaimed, and I knew like the premise of is it the girl hits the guy or the guy hits the girl in the car in the first season? Somebody hits somebody with a car.
I think Stephen Young hits Ali Wong with the car.
Yeah, and it kind of creates this whole cascading of events.
Right.
And it's about this relationship between them and everything. I knew that's what the season was about. I'd seen clips on Instagram, whatever, right? I know everything, basically. No, but I knew that coming into season 2. I knew Oscar Issac, Carey Mulligan. I mean, Cailee Spaeny great. Like, I knew that the cast was super solid. Season 1 was acclaimed, so I expected a high-quality TV show about relationships and stuff that goes wrong, from what I generally...
the show's called Beef, so, like...
Yeah.
If you expect a happy-go-lucky comedy, then you will...
No,
not,
I was not expecting that. I'm not sure I was fully expecting this. I don't know what I was expecting. It definitely... I didn't know it was A24.
Really? Okay.
I should have known it was A24. Once it said A24 Presents, I was like, that makes sense.
I get it.
But now that I've seen the show, I'm like, this is very A24.
It's very A24.
As we say about basically everything A24 that we watch. So,
I'll say this: they have a brand and they stick to it. So
you can't hate.
You can't hate on consistency.
I will say this met my expectations for what I expected from the show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Should we get into spoilers? I feel it's hard to talk about the show.
We're going to talk about spoilers
without spoiling it.
So if you haven't seen Beef season 2, go watch it. It's great.
Yeah,
we recommend it. But we're probably going to talk a little bit more about the themes than like episode to episode.
The plot, yeah.
Because also there's so much that happens in this show that it's like kind of hard to go episode by episode.
Yeah, it's true.
Be a lot. So we are going to spoil Beef season 2. We're not going to spoil Beef season 1.
No, I won't say anything.
I intend to watch it. So if you...
you're like Grant,
if you've
only seen season 2, you will
can
be
watch
safe
this
here.
video.
That's true.
Or if you've seen Beef at all, yeah. But yeah, Drew, I want to hear your thoughts. I'm going to put some more logs in the fire. I want to hear your thoughts on Beef season 2. Just have at it.
Full spoilers. Okay, I loved where we started.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the middle. The end was shaky. For me, I think ending up in... That guy's very loud. Hopefully you can't hear that. I think ending up in Korea, I did like the chairwoman kind of being the big bad and kind of being like what everyone circulated around. I thought that was good. I thought that was interesting. I think ending up in Korea kind of felt weird, and not necessarily Korea as like a setting. Like, I think it was fine that we all ended up there, but like ending up in Korea in the sense of like the fight scene and just the general like Oscar Issac going to prison, and like again, I think the relationship aspect of Beef is what makes Beef interesting, and I feel like that was kind of lost in episode 8, which is the finale.
I definitely see... Wow, holy timing. I definitely see how...
I was running out of steam, so I'm glad you pulled up.
I definitely see how we got there, or how you feel that way. And I completely agree. I think not having seen season 1 maybe helped me.
I think it did, because you didn't have any expectations.
As soon as they started committing fraud, I was like, oh, this is this kind of show. Like, right. I kind of just thought it would be like people at tables talking, and it was that, but it was not that at all.
And I mean, season 1 ends in like a large action sequence.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to not spoil it, but the ending is much more like the conflict is resolved emotionally between the two people in Beef,
mm-hmm.
and I feel like it was less in this.
Yeah,
which like it was very ambiguous ending, which
I think is part of the theme of the show, which is like we'll get into the themes in a minute, but I think for me when they started doing illegal stuff, I was like, oh, well, there's got to be some consequences for somebody's actions somewhere.
Which there was.
And there was, yeah. And so I expected something. I don't know. I do think I appreciated this show and how there's a lot of mirroring of relationships and of people and all this stuff, which, I mean, you can go super nitty-gritty with it. That's what makes Beef really interesting, is there's so much you can dive into here. But I do think I agree that, yeah, maybe some of the relational stuff that makes Beef really good kind of got lost there towards the end. And I think it found itself in kind of the final conclusion.
Yeah.
But then you start to ask the question of, like, what is this really saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's saying a lot. And then, I mean, I don't think this, but I think some people could argue it's kind of saying a bunch of nothing. And I don't necessarily think that's true. I think there's some truths I take from it.
Right.
But it feels very nihilistic at some points.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point. But I don't know.
I mean, I think the shot, I think it's in the last episode of, like, the like, above shot of the chairwoman, obviously, who, again, I liked being kind of the mastermind.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was a super interesting
she was great.
angle of, like, she's manipulating everyone. And
I love how, like, she just, I guess she's Mrs. Park or whatever, but, like, everybody calls her the chairwoman, and so that's, like, kind of her villain name. It's awesome.
And I mean, I think her thesis is, like, because she said this at least twice. She's like, you marry your first, I guess, husband in this case, for love, and then you marry your second, basically for, like, utility,
or kind of for fun,
or
which
just,
is like
to enjoy life.
Yes,
but then, like, this was right after the second time she said it's right after she kills her husband, and she's like, I'm not sad.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it communicated, I married him for utility, and, like, he was fun to be around, but he was not. I don't know, and
he wasn't my life.
Right.
Yes.
And to me, I mean, it mirrors Oscar Isaac's relationship of, like, they were super happy and in love in the beginning, and then it was very utilitarian towards the end, and you kind of see that in, I don't remember either of the actors' names, but
Cailee Spaeny and I'm so sorry, I'm pulling it up. Charles Melton.
Yep, the guy from Warfare.
Yes.
Wow,
I forgot that he was in
A24.
I do think this is like a cool character study. If you want to go into this as a character study, performances are great. Characters are well written.
I mean, every single main lead kills it.
Yes, and
crushes it.
I got that from the first scene when Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan are fighting. It's like, oh wow, they are going at it, and Oscar Isaac is doing this role. Here we go.
He's good in anything he's in. So
and I love that he took this on. I love that all these actors took this on. It's really cool. And then you see in the young couple, it's the start of the relationship of the older couple, and, like, that's the point. It's like, they end up mirroring that,
right?
Except they have a kid, which is a different twist. But
I mean, like, it's basically reverse shot in the sense of, like,
very intentional. Yeah,
they're up on stage and they're up on stage.
Yeah, which is hilarious because neither of them have high school. Well, I guess he has a college degree, but she does not have a high school degree, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it is true.
But yeah, I think what's funny to me too is how much this show is, like, also trying to be, like, culturally relevant.
Ooh,
and, like,
okay,
it's also a weird blend in there too of, like, there's a ton of references, a ton of cameos.
Yeah, that's true.
Which are awesome, by the way. And, like, it's a lot about phones and texting and social media and appearance
and capitalism. I mean, that's like a huge theme.
And, like, we just started with, like, it's about culture, and then we just cascaded right in that sentence into, like, 7 other themes, and there's a ton more. Like, yeah, the amount of stuff there is about identity and image, like, wow.
Yeah.
Right off the rip.
Or, like, relationship trust.
Oh, yeah, or parenthood.
Yeah.
And timing, and, I mean, finances and debt, and, like, here we go.
This show is...
And it's all in here. And I guess my question for you, Drew, is, does the show get too crazy with the themes?
Okay.
Or does it benefit the show? Because I think my sense is the show could maybe feel unfocused for somebody who wants, like, a point.
Right.
Who wants it to be about one thing and say one thing. Because it's not that.
And I think I think I vary, but in this moment in time, in 2026, I'm going to say I am in the camp of, I kind of want things to be saying 1 to 2 things. Like, let's keep the moral of the story short, and I dislike the ambiguous ending maybe more than I don't.
Well, and as someone who hasn't seen season 1, does it have the same feel, or is it a little bit more
season 1 feels like it's saying... It's very thematic. Like,
like it's saying one kind of thing.
But The ending is you're like, oh, I get the point.
Yeah.
I get what they're saying.
Okay. This was not that.
This was not that.
I do think that there's an element of like self-discovery, and one of the side characters' names is like, I did this thing on like individuality or whatever. I'm like
was
butchering.
It Tony?
Yeah, I'm like butchering what he says. But he's like, there's this whole thing about like self-dependence and individuality.
And Josh always listens to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit about like, how do you deal with your own crap, and like, how do you become your own person? Like, I get that part of the season, and that's kind of a core throughout the whole thing.
Right.
But the season has a fight scene in a plastic surgery clinic or whatever you call it. Like, there are things that like, it's not really saying that in that specific moment.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I mean, I think I am in the camp currently of, I think this show kind of smothers itself in the sense of there's too much going on for it to really land in the ending. And I think with something like this, like, the ending is way more important than the build-up, because like the tension is building to something.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the most stressful shows I've ever watched.
Really?
I'm not kidding, dude.
Okay.
I was laying in bed the other night watching this, and I was like, I cannot watch this anymore.
Bro, the orange juice scene.
Oh
so
my gosh.
gross. And then they do it again in the plane.
And there's so many scenes too that are just like out of left field, like when Whoosh gets hit by the car.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, and those scenes are a dime a dozen. Like, oh my gosh, dude. It's just, there's so much. There's literally so much. But like, I was in bed, like, you know, I'll watch a little bit and go to bed, and I was like getting worked up. Like, my heart was pounding, and I was like, I have to turn this off right now, or I'm not gonna be able to sleep. And then I slept terrible after that, by the way. I was like, it probably ruined my sleep. I shouldn't have watched it that close to bed anyway. But, yeah.
Do you think the theme smother itself?
Yeah, I probably would say right now, which I think that there's a lot of great in the show.
I think there is value on like a rewatch, too.
Oh, totally,
Yeah.
totally. This is something that you could dissect. I mean, I read 2 articles right after I finished the show, and I was like, I could probably read for 2 hours on this show. Listen to the podcast, like, you know, there's a ton of stuff that I could do like for the show that would benefit my experience with this show. I also don't think that everybody should have to do that to fully enjoy a show, so it's like a weird in between. Like, if you want to go deep on this show, you can, but also at a certain point, you shouldn't have to.
I would argue there's a difference in enjoying a show, because I think like we're dissecting right now like all the themes and like the point of the show. Well, maybe you disagree, but like I would say there's a value in being entertained, which I think
this is very
this is a very entertaining show.
Yes.
Super tense, super stressful. Like,
yes.
If you like this kind of vibe,
yes.
you could watch this, forget about it in a week, and be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I think going deeper is hard because there's so much going on.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we're getting at with the themes right now.
And I think it is kind of the point of like relationships are messy and like,
it doesn't always work out.
And there's not like one fix of like, oh, we just gotta do this and then we're good. And
then also like you might get stuck with someone you don't love, which is kind of the end for some of the characters and stuff. So I don't know. There's a lot here, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts too.
Yeah, for sure.
We're talking a lot because this is our podcast.
That's true.
We talk
That's kind
on
of
this.
what we do.
But I want to hear y'all's thoughts. If you're like, oh, Beef Season 2 is about this, or Beef Season 2 is about this, that's great, and I want to hear it. Why are the ants in here? Like, just tell me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing with the show, and I'm sure there's a reason. Like, I know this is meticulous. Like, every single thing is intentional in this show.
I have a theory.
Oh, I want to hear it in a second, but
Okay.
I'll say to the audience really quick. I want to know because that's the thing with the shows. There's so much. Like, somebody could fixate on literally that one part of the show and probably have a whole different experience than someone else.
Yeah, I think it's true.
So, we want to hear your thoughts. What do you think the ants are about?
My theory is, I mean, ants are all serving. They're all like a hive mind, right? So they're all serving the queen ant,
which is kind of
what they're all doing. They're
Sure.
serving the chairwoman.
Sure, and that's probably the point. But like, that's like one thing. This felt very Parasite, also because it had the guy from Parasite in it.
Yeah.
That sounds bad. I know that this has Korean roots, obviously too, but like just the thematic filmmaking.
Well,
aspect,
I think there's a lot.
That's what I was saying.
Of themes that are mirrored from Parasite.
Yeah, and there's stuff about class, and you kind of get into that with the debt and stuff too. So
yeah,
great stuff. No. What do you want to talk about next? I don't even know where to go next with this show, honestly, but I liked it. Maybe we could scale out and talk about like the entertainment part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I kind of said this before, but I think this has a lot of entertainment value, a lot of rewatchability. But if you're super into like the nitty gritty thematic elements and like what things mean,
you might have a harder time.
I think there's a harder time digesting this one, at least for me, than even Beef Season 1.
No, I would agree. I kind of was maybe hoping for like a nice bow, which I think that the show kind of does for the characters in some way.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets their loose ends tied up a little bit, but like the thematic element doesn't get that nice tie.
I think Oscar Isaac's ending was so kind of strange. I think that's probably my biggest irk.
Yeah.
Like I like
Carey Mulligan?
I'm trying to think of character names.
I know this is tough. I also binged it. So
the young couple. I like where they ended up.
Oh, okay. You have Ashley and Austin.
Ashley and Austin.
Yes.
Ashley and Austin. I like where they ended up. I think it is interesting as a mirroring of like the couple they were pit up against.
They became what they didn't want to be, which is a very classic movie thing.
I think
you
it's
see
interesting.
that all the time. Godfather, like it's everywhere.
But Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, like she gets the child and the relationship that she wants, but she kind of is still fixating on him a little bit. But he kind of gets the resolution of like she's happy, and like I know it's like a kind of a common resolution of I can be happy that she's happy with someone else, but
I mean I think something else I picked up on is like the chairwoman has this monologue in either 7 or 8 of like the reason that like my business and capitalism as a whole works is because it's completely self-centered.
Yeah.
And the only person I think in the whole show to make a not selfish decision is when Oscar Isaac says,
Josh,
like, it's me.
Yeah.
Put me in prison.
Yeah, and
then I would argue he's the happiest.
Yeah, and that's the resolution
at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's the resolution he gets is I made a selfish decision, because he makes selfish decisions for 7.5 episodes up until then.
So maybe I do like where he ended up, actually.
you worked yourself into liking his character.
I think I've decided I like where he's at.
And I love the mirroring shot where he's at the prison and he's like doing what he did at the country club with everybody. Like that was awesome. Like there's a lot of great filmmaking moments in here. So I guess my question, kind of following all this, is this show at the beginning to me felt really realistic.
Okay, yeah.
Like, especially the fight between them at the very beginning. Like, oh, that feels really
right,
realistic.
very
like
real.
Like a couple fights like that, picking at each other, having receipts on each other. Then the show kind of gets really crazy. Do you think this show is realistic, like surreal, like hyper realistic, or is it somewhere in between?
I think it is somewhere in between. I mean, I think there's lots of interesting things. I think even episode to episode, I think it could be different. I think episode 4, when they're in the hospital, is very surreal and like felt like an episode of Atlanta.
Yeah,
I was like, this is really weird and could totally be an episode of Atlanta right now.
Yeah. It like was so darkly funny. Like so many scenes that you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean,
that was crazy.
It's wild.
But then there's other episodes that I feel like it's super realistic.
Yeah,
I mean, especially episode 1, kind of. So,
but there was also something else that I noticed, and I could be going crazy. Okay, so hear me say that.
Honestly, that would check out for you.
I think when lots of characters were talking, it would then cut, and it'd be like it would be a shot reverse shot where it's like over the shoulder, and then there's a plane right now, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But then it'd be like on the plane when Austin's talking to the receptionist or whatever. And then the receptionist becomes Ashley.
Yeah.
And that happens like 10 times.
There's a ton of moments. And it's really cool, like, imagery of, like, it happens early on in the show where Josh is talking to, I think it's Tony, or talking to somebody.
And then he becomes Josh,
sees himself in, it's like, I wish I was like that. And that's kind of what
I interpret it as like, they're only thinking about X thing.
I think
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be either like imagery about something, because there's a moment where Josh looks at a picture of him and Oh, what's her
yeah,
name?
'cause,
What's her
like-
name? What's her name? What's her name? I'm so sorry. Carey Mulligan. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
get
don't
off my phone. But he looks at a picture of them, and then it's two like images of
It's
him
Oscar Issac
'cause
and
it's
Oscar Issac.
showing his narcissism and everything. So, like, I think that imagery was super well used. It's a really cool, simple filmmaking technique that I think really travels a lot. So, yeah.
I'm gonna say the show is both hyper realistic, and surreal, all at the same time. And like low key
doesn't answer my question.
Well,
at all,
I
by the
know,
way.
but like
no, I know though.
even within episodes, you're like it bounces from thing to thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think if I had to say whether I like this show or not, like I kind of at times hated the experience of watching it. It was like brutal to watch, super awkward at some points. I love the acting, love the filmmaking, love the direction. 50-50 on the themes. I think there's really great themes in here. I think there's a lot in here. It's super entertaining. So it's like this really weird blend of there's a lot that I kind of felt a little bit like I did during the drama during this.
Ooh, okay.
Now, it was a different thing because like the drama was actually genuinely uncomfortable to watch at a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I still felt very uncomfortable during this in a different way. So what would you say? Do you think that this is like I enjoyed this or I didn't? Or
I definitely enjoyed it, but I think this is more my lane than your lane.
yeah, for real. For real, guys. This is not out of my comfort zone. I've watched stuff like this, but I was just like, this is not my show.
Yeah, I think
It's not for me.
I like learning how to make people feel uncomfortable through cinema, which might be like a problem in my brain, but I find it interesting and like fascinating. Directed by the same guy who did Thunderbolts, by the way, and the new X-Men.
What?
Not written, but yeah, Jake Schreier, I think.
Not I'm not gonna even try to say his name because that
Yeah, not him.
I'm not gonna say
Just director,
it's not the writer.
not
Still,
the writer.
Direction was great.
Yeah, I think there's lots of choices that were made that were super interesting.
Oh man,
But yeah, the show's weird. The show.
I like Severance better. I'm gonna.
That's
say
a different kind of weird.
I'm gonna say it. Severance is a lot. It says a lot about relationships.
100%.
Severance is better.
I would agree.
Very different,
Severance is better than.
but a little bit more in line with this show than maybe some other shows that we are watching right now.
Severance feels less dark, but it is dark. I think Severance is dark.
Severance is darker from like a Big Brother or like
A 1984 type of vibe.
Yes.
As opposed to like a nihilistic type. There's still hope in Severance.
Yeah, there is still hope in Severance. There's
I
like
think I've cracked it.
basically no hope in Beef.
There's not a lot of
it's
hope
like,
in
yeah,
Beef.
your relationship right now that you're in, it's going to die.
it
That's what
sucks.
Beef is telling you. I had to like check in on myself. I'm like, I'm about to get married. If you don't know already, I am like, am I good? I'm good. I'm like, I texted my
Yeah,
fiance.
we've watched the drama and Beef
Oh,
back to
God,
back.
guys. But I texted my fiance and I was like, thank you for being sane. Like, I'm not kidding. I actually did that because I was like, these characters are insane.
Thank you for being normal. Yeah.
But then there were some things in the relationships of like, that hits a little close to home.
Yeah.
So
I say, as a
that's-
single man. I was like, I don't know.
guys, a side quest on Stole My Line is to find Drew a wife.
Hey, I am down, dude.
So hey, if you love movies and you love outdoor podcasts, I got the man for you. We're getting off the rails here, but I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any questions you have for me?
So you say you don't. If you had to just definitively say, do I like or do I dislike?
I like Beef. I don't know if I'll ever watch this season again.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Like I don't know if I'll put myself through that.
Right.
Like it was emotionally a lot.
Okay.
It genuinely impacted my day.
Okay,
Like,
that's
I
so
was-
interesting.
I was at work and I was thinking about Beef and I was stressed out.
I was also thinking about Beef at work too.
Like it genuinely stressed me out.
And like, I mean, bro, I think I just watched like when Woosh got hit by a car, and I went out. I was like walking by my car. I'm like, I'm about to die. I was like, I don't know where that came from, dude. I'm like, this is bad.
Beef makes it like if you drink a glass of milk, you're gonna be like, is this
Yeah,
milk
no,
okay?
bro.
Like you're gonna be a little paranoid. I'm glad I don't feud with another couple. I hope I never get in
Yeah,
that
for real.
situation. But yeah, no, it was a great watch. Performances are great.
Yeah,
It's definitely a lot. But let us know your thoughts on Beef.
for sure. Let us know your interpretations of all the themes, all the symbolism. If you disagree,
If you agree.
if you agree,
If you're somewhere in the middle.
yeah, just let us know your thoughts.
Is this show funny? Like, do you really think this is a comedy, or do you think this is a drama? Or
I don't think dark comedies are very funny. Like, I'm not laughing.
There's some moments where you laugh.
It's more like cynical internal laughter.
I would say the best dark comedies you laugh.
Really? Okay, name an example.
Okay, well, like, I don't think it's entirely dark, but in Pulp Fiction where they accidentally shoot the guy in the taxi.
Yeah.
It's like super dark.
Right.
But like you can kind of laugh at like that makes me sound like a crazy person.
No, but
I've
said
moment
this before.
is played
like,
for comedy.
Tarantino movies are supposed to be kind of cynically funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But maybe it's not as dark. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just like supposed to be cynicism.
I don't know, like shows like Beef or Atlanta that are labeled as like comedy, or even like BoJack Horseman. It's like this is just really sad and not hope filled.
I would say in the drama, like it is a dark comedy. Like it is literally to the T.
Yeah,
a dark comedy.
Yeah.
And there were moments that I laughed in the theater, and then I was like, I don't know if I should be laughing.
I think the drama is more funny than these.
Well, drama also ends on a hopeful note.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So does BoJack Horseman, kind of, but I don't know.
This is a weird conversation. We don't dive too deep into dark comedy.
There's only so much nihilism that I can take before I am like affected.
I think and I guess you kind of get it with Oscar Isaac, but he's in prison, so it's a little bit weird. Yeah. But like, I think I would have liked a little bit of a happier through line in here. Like, your relationship doesn't have to be this way. Maybe it's saying that by not saying that, but maybe it's saying here's what to avoid.
Here's what to not do.
Here's what to not do. But it definitely felt like, nope, your relationship's cooked, buddy. Yeah. That's what the show felt like it was telling you. So,
well, let us know if you think purely nihilistic shows have. I'm not saying they don't have value, but like, I don't know. Is that a problem in y'all's mind as an audience?
Maybe everybody who watches this video is like super nihilistic.
Yeah, maybe like, hey, we love this.
Maybe
this is
Beef is for the nihilists of the world, and we're just not those. So maybe that's why we don't vibe with it just as much as other people.
Yeah,
I'd say this is a good show.
I know, I do think it's a good show.
This might sound negative, but honestly, that's the point of Beef.
Yeah.
If we sound like we're talking negatively about Beef, that's probably fine, because Beef is kind of talking negatively about literally everything.
I think it's good. I think there's lots of value. There's lots of like discussion to come out of this that could be healthy and good.
Yeah, you could honestly do an audit of your relationship based off Beef season 2.
Or the drama,
or the drama. Honestly, just anything that we watch here on Stole My Line, including the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
No.
Speaking of stuff we watch on Stole My Line, Drew, what do we have coming up next?
What a transition, yeah.
I'm working on my segues.
We got Daredevil.
We
got finale of the greatest show of all time. Sorry.
Way too
TBD.
far. Way
TBD
too far.
on that
Way too far. Way too far. They dragged the PNGs, but Invincible season 4 finale, which I am very stoked for.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I may have gotten a few Instagram spoilers of the comics. I'm not sure.
I haven't, so don't tell me a thing.
But I'm very excited.
We got... You announced this one because you're more excited. What are we doing Friday?
We are watching MJ. Well, not MJ. I'm so sorry. I'm going to take this back. We're watching Michael. MJ is the Broadway musical, which I've seen, and we will probably talk about on the podcast. But we're watching Michael. Which the reviews are good. I don't know how many of those reviews are planted, but I'm cautiously excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good.
Biopics are kind of hit or miss for me.
Hey, it's pronounced biopic.
It's not. Oh, my gosh. If you're still here, it's biopic, and we're going to settle this on Friday.
Yeah,
so
we will.
Hit that subscribe button for then. And then, we got other stuff in the pipeline. We have Backrooms. We have The Odyssey. We have Spider-Man.
We got Star Wars Marathon.
Yeah,
May
that's
4th.
the big thing. In May, we're doing a Star Wars Marathon, Mandalorian and Grogu, the whole shebang. We're going to talk about everything, which we're probably going to get heated on this podcast.
It's going to be the
Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is
will
going to
be the most heated episode of Stole My Line.
It's going to be bad. We honestly might have to cut it multiple times.
We might need to go to relationship counseling after.
Beef season 3 is based on our conversation on The Last Jedi. No, but seriously, we got a ton of stuff in the pipeline. House of the Dragon season 3 is coming out. Lanterns? Is that what's called?
Lanterns, yeah.
We have some TV stuff that's coming out. Outer Banks season 5. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I will not be reviewing that.
I haven't seen a thing. I'm not watching 4 seasons of Outer Banks. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
But we do have a lot of great stuff coming out. So hit that subscribe button. If you are listening on audio, thanks for being here. Follow us.
For sure.
Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Literally anything helps us. Comment if you like what we do. We're also going to have some other episodes come out about other people's Letterboxd top 4s that we're reacting to. more movie and TV hot takes. Got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. So I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am.
We're excited. Are you excited?
Yeah. Let us know.
I think
on a scale from
everybody's
1 to 10, how excited?
If you are watching this video, you're probably excited.
If you're still here, you're excited.
It's kind of way too late for us to be doing a podcast right now. So I'm gonna go edit and I'm gonna go sleep.
I'm also gonna go edit.
And we're not gonna watch any more beef tonight. Nope. So that's it from us. Please take a break
And enjoy a film.
Holy infinite outro.